Welcome everyone to the Great Game of Thrones Nerd Off, the review of Season 6. We may have missed a few episodes, maybe. But we're here, we're going to talk about everything that's happened in the last sort of couple of episodes, give our views over what we thought was good about the season, what was bad, what we think is going to happen next, go over all the predictions we made and find how I was right about everything. That's the general gist of it. I'm Lim and joined with Ellen, as usual. How you doing? You okay?
Hello. Yeah, I'm good.
Good. So, yeah, it's been a little while, but we're here for the end of it.
Most important part.
Yes. It's all been going on the last couple of weeks. It's been quite ridiculous.
Yes.
They went a whole... There's spoilers all the way through this, by the way. You should know that because we're doing a review of the season. But just in case, if you haven't seen it, go off and watch it, then come back. Okay. But yeah, it's the last couple of episodes, everyone died. It was quite ridiculous considering fuck all happened for the first 7 episodes or whatever. No one died, nothing interesting happened of note.
Yeah.
We had to kind of pad out the episodes and say, that's sort of a thing that totally happened and that. And then suddenly everyone died. It was all going on.
Yeah, in the last 2 episodes this season, it was all just very much a bit of an orgy of death a little bit.
Do you reckon the producers were skint and we were like, we really need to cut down on our wage budget. Let's kill everybody.
Quite possibly, but because usually what happens in Game of Thrones, episode 9 is the massive one, right? It's always the big battle.
Yeah.
So this one we had the Battle of the Bastards, which I think I would kind of with some sort of kind of certainty say, in my opinion, that it's possibly the best episode they've ever done.
Yeah.
And
the only one I think that came close is Battle of Blackwater.
Yeah, and
that's anything that came close.
They always save kind of the big moment of the season for episode 9. Obviously, the Battle of Blackwater, there was, Hard Home, and now Battle of the Bastards. There's always this massive kind of confrontation that happens, and it was. And so in the season finales have always been considered to be somewhat of a come down, I guess you'd say, a little bit more focused on story and character.
That's just
and,
wrapping up a few plot lines and setting up for the next season.
Yeah, so going into kind of season finale, a lot of people are like, oh, it'll be a bit of a kind of a wrap up, and I don't think there'll be too much maybe going on. But it was very much like a very kind of different season finale for them. So much happened.
Yes.
It was incredibly important. It wasn't just, it was a lead on to obviously the next seasons, but it was very much an epic conclusion to what has come so far, not only in the season, but also in the entire series so far.
Yes, I can agree more. So shall we start with Daenerys then?
Yes, and her storyline.
What's all been going on? Well, so in episode 9, dragons ate some people. They burned lots of bad guys in their ships and sort of stole them, and somehow in the space of an episode suddenly they had ships.
Yeah, it's pretty much.
Totally,
but it's kind of like sense. It's kind of like people. We've talked about this, but this idea that it doesn't matter because she has dragons, right? She has dragons. That kind of trump is a trump card, and in a way, you did, because it didn't really matter how many armies or ships they had in the matter. All it really mattered is the fact that she had a dragon that could breathe fire, and their ships and their armings meant nothing compared to that. Yeah,
it was all very showing off, I think. But something I've felt about these last couple of episodes is through a couple of the plot lines is the time, the time schedule kind of thing really makes no sense. With Varys. He was in Marine, then 2 minutes later he was in Dawn, and then 2 minutes later he was on a ship with Daenerys. Did he borrow a dragon, or
I don't know? But
how the fuck did he do it so quick?
Yeah, everybody's kind of said that they must have a hidden TARDIS somewhere, because the same thing happened when we talk with Arya, but they seem to be moving very fast.
Yeah,
because
how did Arya get from fucking over there to Riverlands that bloody quick?
I know. Because assumedly a trip from Marine to Dawn would take a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And he seemed to do it in the space of a day, and then back in the space of a day.
He's pretty good.
Go off with her.
Whereas Sam spent the entire season on a ship.
Yeah, travelling lesser distance.
Yeah. That totally made sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So
a bit all over the place, but your beloved Dawn made an appearance in the final episode.
They did.
As soon as I saw it, you were the first thing I thought. I was like, she's gonna love this scene.
I was, yeah, I had to I had a bit of power issues with this, so I had to watch this with a little bit of a later time during the day, and people had told me that Dawn was in it, and I was terrified that it was going to be like 15 minutes of Dawn, but I was kind of happy that it was only like 2 minutes, and the purpose of Dawn was basically to, in the end, solidify their status as one of Daenerys's allies now.
Yeah, which is the same for Theon as well. His purpose is he's good with ships, so he's gonna help with the ships. That's his job now, basically.
Yep, and Yara and Theon, they've definitely said. I mean, they kind of made this deal that, she'll let them have the Iron Island. She'll let them,
They just can't do no raping and pillaging.
Yeah,
and they're like,
as Yara's kind of says, that's our way of life.
Tough shit.
This isn't anymore.
Boo.
Yeah. I feel like you would say yes too. If you had just seen somebody on 3 dragons, well, 1 dragon, 2 beside her, burning him, trying to, or showing that she could burn an entire fleet to ruin, I'm pretty sure I would say yes to.
Whatever she said.
Yeah.
Which is kind of an interesting thing. Do you reckon she's going to start becoming a bit power hungry? Because you see it with, I can't remember his name, the leader of the Second Sons. Her boyfriend, lover, toy boy, whatever. She says to Tyrion, like, I told him to fuck off, and I really didn't bother me. Like, is she becoming a bit like disconnected and not asked? She don't want to turn into her. Is it her dad? Mad King?
Yeah,
is that her dad?
Yeah,
that was her dad, wasn't it?
Yeah, possibly, but I think that last season was a bit like that.
But she went crazy and killed all of the Dothraki leaders.
Yeah. That was interesting.
Yeah.
But
crazy lady.
I don't know if she's going to become power hungry, or that might be something they talk about next season. Possibly. I mean, in a way, Dario doesn't serve much of a purpose anymore because his skill is in fighting on the ground.
Yeah, doing like stealth missions and stuff like that. Seems to be his thing. Like covert ops and shit.
Yeah. So, I mean, I wasn't sad to see him go, certainly.
No. But yeah, so Daenerys is, like, the way the season ends up, Daenerys is getting on her ship. Like, she's on her ships. Dragons are flying about above all of these ships. There's Theon's there, and I presume Dawn will join at some point at the start of the next season.
Yeah.
Varys teleported over to the ship with her.
Yep. Out of nowhere.
So she's good to go and attack pretty much nobody because everyone's dead at this point. She'll just get there. She's got this massive army. She'll get there. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now what?
It's going to be a bit of a non-event.
At this rate, because everyone will be bloody dead by the time. Well, I guess. I mean, we'll talk about it at the end, but I guess there's setting up between them versus the White Walkers. I guess. Can you imagine Cersei having to join forces with Daenerys to fight the White Walkers? That'd be interesting.
I have a feeling that, I mean, I can share my predictions, but I have a feeling that it'll be that her role might be diminished quite in capacity. Just in my own. Well, we can talk about that a bit later. But
yeah, we'll save that. So yeah, that's all Daenerys' stuff. Then we'll talk about Bran. Quickly.
Oh yes.
I'm not fond of talking about that man anymore.
Bran, like, this whole purpose of him in this season was to introduce him again after him being away for an entire year, and basically to solidify his purpose as kind of revealing important storylines
that the people who are involved don't know about.
Yeah, pretty much, is to kind of reveal big kind of surprises, I guess you'd say. So he becomes the one-eyed raven, three-eyed raven, sorry. He's going to be this master seer. He has to, like, keep an eye on overwatch all this happening. His purpose is to keep this knowledge and share it, I guess you'd say, with everybody. So Bran's journey throughout the entire season is becoming the three-eyed raven and then receiving the knowledge that, through this we receive knowledge about Eddard Stark, his father, the kind of whole history that he was involved in with the Civil War in terms of overtaking the Targaryens, and his sister, and her role in terms of how important she is to the story, and introducing it back in and kind of revealing that like the major kind of plot point. I guess you
Yeah.
would say that one of the most important things of the season, which had to do with Jon's kind of ancestry.
Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of the main thing, is that Jon is a Targaryen, and
Yeah.
Daenerys is his auntie,
Daenerys is his half sister.
half sister. It's so
Yeah.
confusing. They're
So
related.
yeah,
Basically.
basically, yeah, what we're learning is that Jon was born to Lyanna Stark as the kind of son of Rhaegar Targaryen, who was the Mad King. He kidnapped Lyanna and supposedly raped her and kind of married her in a very strange way, and she gave birth to Jon after his death, after Rhaegar's death, and then she died in the process, and kind of asked Eddard to look after him.
Yeah, raise him as his own.
Yeah,
Yes. So
pretty
yeah,
much.
don't like Bran. He's a bit of a dick. We saw Benjen, and we got some half-assed White Walker explanation of why they
Yeah,
haven't attacked the wall yet. Because there's some
yeah.
witchy juju magic on the wall. They can't go there. Oh, all
They
right
can't.
then.
Yeah,
Sure.
I didn't understand that. I've never even heard that before as a thing
No, that's just
existed.
an
So I
excuse.
was kind of mystified as to like, why is this the first time we've ever heard of it?
I know,
Because I've
right?
never heard of that before. I thought they could just literally walk through it,
Yeah.
or just at
No,
least walk over it.
there's powerful magic, but didn't stop the wildlings and anyone else attacking the wall. But
I know.
White Walkers within the, well, wasn't a technically a White Walker as such, but like it was a first or second season when they first sort of became aware of it, and there was one within the walls, which went to kill
Yeah,
Lord
which one killed?
Commander.
Yeah, pretty much. So
I don't get it.
I
That's
yeah,
completely half-assed, and that is just mentioned off in passing. And I hope they explain that
yeah.
next season.
I'm assuming it has something to do with Brain and the fact that he is somehow tied to the magic that protects the wall or something. I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming that that's why they want him so badly. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
But
that was all of that. And then, as we quickly hinted on earlier, Arya can teleport as well now.
yeah,
And she somehow managed to find herself in the Riverlands.
Yeah.
Very, very quickly.
Yep.
Because that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. So we have Walder Frey. He's kind of like sitting in his little, castle there. He's pretty happy that he's managed to kind of like
Do nothing.
do nothing except have the Lannisters look after everything for him. And
I like
he's
that.
like, yeah, we've taken back the twins, and
I like
jolly
that
me.
scene with Jamie where Jamie said, "You ain't shit, mate. You've done nothing."
Yeah.
Basically, I liked that.
Yeah.
That made me happy.
Yeah, it's very true.
It is very true. And then, so I've got a couple of theories on it, I guess. But what happened is Arya took a face and went to feed Walder Frey a pie. Only it had his sons in it, and he nearly ate a finger. So that was lovely. And then she took the face off and said, "I want the last thing you see before you die to be a Stark smiling." And then she cut his throat open and killed him. So yeah, go Arya.
Yeah.
But it makes you wonder, like, if she has that ability, maybe she got there so quickly because the person who was in Marine wasn't her. I've seen that theory floating around so much. Like, of her versus her nemesis and such. Like,
yeah, the wave. Yeah.
Yeah.
Possibly, maybe. I
Or
still
she
think
can time
that,
travel.
or she can time travel. I think it's just convenient for them to be like, oh, it's been a while between the events and the season finale.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, I was pleasantly. That was actually probably one of my favorite scenes of the season finale. Was definitely her. I wasn't expecting it because I didn't know if I'd see her again. But it didn't even click to me
Yeah.
what was going on, because I thought maybe this was part of the the Red Woman. I mean, I thought it possibly could be tied to that. I was like, maybe,
Yeah.
but then when she started to pop the face, and I was like, oh.
So do you reckon she's going to go up and meet up in Winterfell now, or do you reckon she's just going to go around assassinating bitches?
Um, I think she probably will make her way down to King's Landing if she is
Rather than
intent
going up
on
to
killing.
Winterfell?
Yeah, I think she'll be going after Cersei.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good idea. Good idea. So yeah, Arya's now a badass assassin who's rather ruthless by, killing a guy's sons and trying to feed them to him. Some
hmm
Cartman level shit, that is.
Yeah, that is definitely Carmen, Eric Carmen level.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Should we go over all like King's Landing stuff then?
Yes, we shall go
So
up King's
we'll
Landing.
sort of try and condense a bit because there was quite a lot happened. To be fair,
hmm
like, basically Cersei blew up everybody.
Yep, she did. She did blow up everything.
That's the
I
gist
love
of it.
that. Yeah, I love that. That there's this kind of interesting sense of irony, isn't there? Like the whole point of killing Rhaegar Targaryen and getting rid of him was he wanted to
Burn
blow up the
everyone.
burn everybody, right? And they were like, we will be the saviors, and ending up being a Lannister, being the one to actually use the wildfire,
Yeah, to
um,
burn everyone.
to burn everybody. And I mean, I'm particularly happy for the whole kind of faith storyline to come to an end because I feel like it had definitely run its course and
Yeah.
it had showed itself to
I don't know that's over though. I'm
in
sure
terms
not
of
every single one of them was in the Sept. They
maybe
just
not,
lost
but
their leader.
I
Definitely.
don't think she's gonna. I'll be yeah, possibly.
You don't know. Life is definitely over, but they've lost their leader, and she kidnapped the one who was being mean to her, didn't she?
Shame none. She kidnapped
Yeah.
Shame none. She did.
Yeah, and Tommen jumped off a balcony as well.
Yep, Tom did jump off a balcony
He was a pointless
because
character anyway, to be honest.
he was. I think
Spineless and
yeah, a true innocent in a way. Like, you know, we during the whole process we lost Marjorie, we lost basically all the Tyrells except for
Elena.
Lady Olenna, who was the best out of all of them. I mean, I was particularly sad to see Marjorie go. I was just kind of like, I didn't like to see her die. I didn't want her to die, because I feel like her character was rich. But it's for impact, and
I don't think anyone wanted Ned to die, to be honest. Didn't
no,
stop him.
no, it didn't stop them at all. But I mean, it was just kind of like he's been, especially for Tom, and he'd been kind of twisted and turned by so many different forces that I guess he decided that his life was kind of like worthless in a way.
Yeah, well, he loved her and now she's gone, so... Well, he didn't see the point, did he?
Mhm.
But yeah, so, yeah, Cersei's now the queen. In a roundabout way, that happened. So, she's
There's
now
not
the
a
big
lot of people-
player. I mean, she always kind of was the big player in King's Landing, but now she's got the throne, she's got the army,
There's no one there to contest her because she blew up half of
She
the
killed them all.
city's noblemen and woman basically in the sept anyway. So yeah, she's pretty much unopposed, and Jamie comes back and seems a little bit mystified, tiny bit.
What I miss.
Yeah, a little bit like that. I mean, it kind of brings nicely into the kind of what Tyrion said to her many seasons ago, the idea that her joy would turn to ash in her mouth.
She's lost all
and
of
it
her
was-
kids now, hasn't she?
Yeah.
All of them.
I mean,
They're all
yeah.
dead. So,
They are all very much dead.
Mhm.
So
and they're all... That's all her fault, really? When you, consider it for each of them, it's kind of all of her fault that they're all dead. So...
Yep.
Well,
Very much
happy. Shall we mention Sam very quickly in one sentence?
Yeah.
He's trying to be a
Sam.
maester now. There you go.
Sam made his way to O-Town. He is now finally there.
Yeah, he's going to be a maester. Very exciting. No point of that being in that season. Moving on. Yeah. Winterfell.
Yes.
It's quite a lot happened. Shall we just quickly mention the battle? Because
Yes.
it's likely the best episode I think I've ever seen of Game of Thrones. So it's certainly
Yeah.
the best battle I've ever seen on TV. but and film really.
Yeah, I'd mentioned to somebody that I thought it was one of the best filmed battle sequences I'd seen in at least a couple of years. In my opinion, it was brilliantly executed. The what we're talking about is the episode called "The Battle of the Bastards," which is basically Ramsay Bolton versus
John.
Sansa and John, in the quest to take back Winterfell. And it took them 4 months to film it, and I can understand why.
Yeah.
But it's brilliantly filmed. It's brilliantly directed, executed. More there's one, and it's just very well conceived of. They very much focused on the kind of harsh brutalities that the whole kind of like crawling over dead bodies,
Yeah.
that massive pile was intense.
This is it. Like, how many films have you seen like these medieval style battle scenes where you'll see the odd individual fights and you'll hear a few people grunting and cheering in the background and that. But like, where do all the dead bodies go? You never see any, like ever. And like, they kind of showed what the reality of it is. If you have, say, 1,000 people each side fighting, if most of those people die, their bodies are going to be somewhere. They don't just disappear. And the fact is, like, towards the end, you were climbing over people to fight, and you just never see that. And like, when John was running through like the army and stuff, and he was swinging his sword, and not every shot was clean. Like, he was taking off like arms and like things like that. You never see that. It's just, I stab him in the chest, he is now dead. I stab him in the chest, now he is dead. Like, it's always like you see in like any other like film or TV show where you have these kind of battles. It's also clean.
Yes, yeah. This is
And
very
that's what
dirty.
this really is. In like the bit where they're all they're being cornered and they're getting crushed over each other. Stuff like that happened. That's realistic. I know it's like a fantasy show and everything, and there was a giant. Bless him.
Yeah, but it was real tactics from real tactics from medieval war tactics. I mean, it's
and
very
proper
much
reactions of what would actually have happened in return, kind of thing.
very messy, very bloody, very
Brutal
destructive,
and horrible.
Yeah, pretty much. And like,
it was just fantastic.
it was so well done. It was brilliant.
It really was.
And, yeah. Because I was entirely impressed by it, because I didn't think it would be as good as it was.
No, you expected Battle of Blackwater again, kind of thing.
Yeah, which was good, but it was definitely.
This was a step above, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it really
was just. Yeah, I can't say more. I mean, I'm just kind of gushing and fangirling, but I mean, I just think it was so brilliant. It really was so brilliant. So
yeah,
I'm very.
Shall we say about like the aftermath of what happened? So towards the end, Knights of the Vale, like Littlefinger sent a bunch of people to take out the guys who were surrounding him. Then Ramsay ran away like a little bitch, hid behind the wall in Winterfell. Then the giant destroyed the wall, the door, and Jon squished his face. And then his Sansa got his own dogs to eat him.
Yep.
That was such a fitting end for him, to be honest.
Yep.
It made me happy.
Yep. Because like his whole theory of like loyalty is based upon fear, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like if you can make people loyal if they fear you. Well, yes, you can, but also means that if they're desperate enough, they'll turn on you, because that their sense of loyalty isn't tied to anything but if they don't think you're going to hurt them anymore.
Self-preservation, innit?
Yeah, they don't care. So his dogs turned on him in a very basic way.
Yeah. So what do you give to the theory of Sansa being up the duff with Ramsay's child when he says, I'm a part of you now? And
I don't think...
Do you reckon she's pregnant? And like the signs of her not eating and having to make custom fitting clothes and stuff like this?
Nah, I don't buy it. Personally, I don't buy it. I think it's more of a statement on the fact that
he's messed her up.
He's like sexually and mentally violated her, and like this idea that she'll forever be tainted by that violation. And I guess it's supposed to be this kind of statement upon the fact that she's kind of like, you did this to me, but I won't be your victim forever. So I think I don't really buy the fact that she's, I don't know, it just, it would be a little bit too weird, to be quite honest. I don't know what purpose it would serve.
I don't know. There's a compelling argument with the signs pointing towards it.
What do you think they'd do with it if it was a thing?
this is it. Like obviously the whole section with Winterfell finished with them declaring Jon the new king in the north. So if he's the king and Sansa's the queen, even though they're related but not, married or anything, obviously, because they're not Lannisters. But if she had a son, that would be the heir, I guess.
To the Winterfell.
Yeah,
Yes.
because I mean, depending on what happens with Bran.
Yep.
I don't know what they could do with it, to be honest.
Yeah, that's why it's a little bit empty. I mean, like, it's a plausible theory. Yes, you can find cues, but I'm just kind of thinking of what exactly does it.
It's not like they don't do things that have no purpose or point. Like all of Sam's storyline this season, Dawn has no point, but they did it. Like So I don't know. I think it's something that maybe they'll just ignore it completely and move on.
Quite possibly.
So what do you think about like Littlefinger? Because I don't think things went quite how we imagined them to go.
No,
he didn't look best
quite
pleased in that meeting.
No, he didn't. His relationship with Sansa, I don't know. I mean, like, it's very creepy, and I think she kind of realizes that if she lets herself being taken advantage by him, I mean, and it would be kind of disappointing because I guess her whole development over the past couple of seasons has been this idea that she's got to be her own person. She can't be property of somebody.
Yeah, she becomes strong and
her
own person, like like a Cersei or Daenerys or Marjorie, rather than just like weak and timid and hoping other people fight her battles for her.
I think he's probably going to find himself at the end of a very pointy sword.
Do you reckon?
I do. I do think he will. I think that, he's been buttering up Lord Aaron, but Lord Aaron, I mean, he's of the Vale is very temperamental. I mean, he can be very loyal to Peter, but I mean, he could turn on a dime if he got angry enough because he's a very unstable child who has an army behind him, very much like Joffrey did. So
yeah, he is very, like, he's not quite as sadistic as what Joffrey was, but I think he's just as unreliable, and he doesn't think twice about saying, okay, we'll just chuck him down the moon door.
Yep, pretty much.
Like,
so
it'd be interesting to see how his storyline pans out next season.
It will be interesting to see, yes.
See what Littlefinger does next. What does he choose to ally with, Cersei or with Jon? Because that's his choices, and I don't think Sansa would want him, even though she owes him for basically winning the battle for Winterfell, didn't they? So
yeah,
because they were fucked until the knights turned up.
Yeah, they were really Knights of the Vale really saved their ass very much majorly.
Yes. So I mean, I guess that's the main sort of story arcs. The Hound joined the Brothers Without a Banner. That happened. That's a thing that happened. What's the Onion Knight called? I always forget his name. I'm terrible.
Sir Davos?
Yeah,
yeah,
he found out during Winterfell. He found out about the princess getting burnt at the stake by Stannis. So he told Red Witch to fuck off.
Pretty much, yeah. That was, yeah.
I kind of wanted him to kill her.
He did very much wanted to murder her, very, very, very much so. Because her purpose is, I don't know if we'll ever see her again, to be quite honest.
There's no need for her in the story anymore, I don't think.
No, not really.
Now that she's revived Jon, I don't see what else she can have to do with the story, unless she has some kind of input towards how they can deal with the White Walkers. There's no real need for her anymore, I don't think.
Not much of a need, no.
No. So, shall we just sort of go over, like, just the review of the series in general then? The season?
Yep.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Favourite parts?
So, my favourite part was definitely...
Should we do worst first?
Should we do worst first? Okay, my least favourite part of this entire season had to be I was thoroughly unimpressed by anything that had to do with Dawn.
Really? I thought you loved Dawn.
And my least that was my second, my penultimate. My ultimately least favorite thing had to actually be Tyrion.
Yeah.
Tyrion's storyline, his dialogue, his scenes were lackluster. They were boring. They had no purpose almost at all. So I would say actually he was the lowest point of the season was Tyrion. I mean, it was worse than Dawn. There was little to no character development for him.
I would round that out to say all of Marine.
Mhm.
Like the stuff with the slavers and stuff was quite dull. That kind of all of the stuff with the Sons of Harpies kind of didn't need to happen.
No.
All could have been what happened in that last episode where she got back to Marine. She just with her army, she murdered all of the Sons of Harpies. Could have knocked out in one episode.
Yep.
Got her ships and off they went. There didn't need to be all of this back and forth between trying to negotiate a treaty and let's teach Grey Worm what a joke is.
Yeah, it was.
Did that fucking need to happen, really?
Yeah, it was just all.
All of that just didn't need to happen.
Yeah.
And also a shout out to Sam, because all of his story didn't need to happen.
Pretty much. It was pointless.
Completely pointless, yes. So yeah, is that it for the stuff we hated this season?
Yeah, I was just thoroughly disappointed by what they did for Tyrion this season, and Marine, I guess you'd say. But Tyrion most definitely because he'd been such a strong character. I would be very surprised if Peter Dinklage got any type of recognition this season, because he normally does at every kind of award ceremony. He's normally nominated. If he did,
it's got to go to
thoroughly surprised because
it's got to be Daenerys in it.
Yeah, none of the content they gave him this season was compelling. So
it's not his fault. He only do what he's given, you know. But...
yeah, this is no slight on the actors. This has to do with the writing. I mean, actors can act brilliantly, but they can only the quality of what they're doing really kind of does half depend on the kind of content that they're given. And so if you're given really nothing, it's very hard to make something out of nothing.
Yeah, like Ben Affleck in Batman vs Superman. He actually wasn't bad. It's just the entirety of the script and the way it was shot and everything about that film was terrible.
Yeah, it's got nothing to do with how good the actors are.
Yeah.
They could be brilliant actors, but if the direction and the script writing is bad, you can't save it.
No.
It's very hard. So,
I agree. Should we move on to what we liked about this season?
Yes.
I quite liked the Battle of the Bastards. That was good. I enjoyed that.
I think that's the best part of the season, best part of the show overall ever.
And the bit where the mountain squished the shit talker's face into a wall.
That was rather amazing.
I'd like to say just all of the mountain scenes were awesome. When the guys from the Faith wanted to take Cersei to the Sept, and the mountain just picked him up by the head, and his neck fell out of his body.
Yeah.
His spine came off. That was quite cool as well. Just everything with the mountain this season was fucking awesome.
Yeah, he's a very formidable character, and like Shaman at the end, getting her nice comeuppance. I mean, it's hard to feel bad for Shaman. I don't know what her real name is. I just call her Shaman. That's how everybody kind of calls her Shaman. Shame.
Yeah.
I mean, it was
She deserves it. She's been mean to everybody.
Yeah, she was, but definitely. I mean, I'd say a lot of Daenerys' stuff is my favorite. I wasn't really my favorite this season. She did an okay job with her storyline. My favorite thing.
Old ground, didn't she? Really.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways, like we were saying, like the parallels between her stuff with the Dothraki and what happened in season 1. It's kind of like been there, done that a little bit.
Yeah, very much so. So it was enjoyable. It was good. I think that the core of what the best part of this really had to do with Jon.
Yeah.
This season,
Jon
and getting
was
to
great.
finally kind of put that fan theory to kind of not to rest, but definitely give it legitimacy and say we were right. That people had thought for. I mean, it's been a while since Dance with Dragons came out. We're talking like 10 years now. People have theorized for 10 years, over a decade, that he is a Targaryen and, he is the trueborn, kind of heir to this. He's the last remaining male heir. So he kind of is.
He technically should be king. Yeah.
Yeah. So, And so that kind of fan theory was very much proved to be right. So that was kind of nice to see that come to fruition. Very
Yeah.
much so.
So yeah, I think overall it's been like a really good season.
Mm-hmm.
There's been missteps, like with pretty much everything that happened in Marine and such, but like everything with John, like we said, was really solid this season. Arya's stuff was pretty cool with the Rocky montage and becoming
Yep.
a badass assassin and that.
Yep. Even the stuff in King's Landing was pretty good actually this season. I mean, the Faith isn't my favorite thing, but they definitely did quite well with it. I think it was an interesting arc that happened there with Cersei. I think it's kind of, I was interested to see how it ended, and actually it's a kind of, I mean, it's kind of appropriate that King's Landing has fallen into her hands. And I mean, for not like she deserves it, but definitely everything that's kind of gone on down there, that's kind of the conclusion that's happened.
Yeah. So I guess the next question is, what happens next? Shall we go back through like the main sort of players as such and just tell me
Well,
what we think? Should we just start with Daenerys and all
well,
that?
she's coming basically over. She's going to. Her plan is to conquer.
Do you reckon
Well,
she goes to the Iron Islands first?
yes, I think they're going to have to go there first and deal with that first.
Just
Because
quickly
he has
slap
a
that uncle man.
Yeah. Because he could very much. I mean, if they get enough fleet, and if they know the threat's coming, they could possibly ask Cersei for help.
Not going to do much
Um,
against dragons unless their ships
No,
are
it's not gonna
made
do
out
much.
of something that isn't wood, I guess.
Yeah. But they also don't know that the dragons. I mean, they've heard stories that the dragons exist, but they've been so involved with their own stuff that has to do with like arguments between religious arguments and family arguments that they really don't know that this is coming. They may know that the ships are coming, but they definitely don't know how big, how ferocious, and how much of a threat the dragons are.
Yeah. So you think so? Daenerys will go to stop off at the Iron Islands, just quickly give that uncle a slap, and then what do you reckon? We get much more from her this season,
I think next season
or
will
next season, I should say. Sorry.
very much focus upon Daenerys versus Cersei. I think that would be a huge part of next season, if not the main focal part.
Okay.
I don't know if we will get Daenerys and Jon meeting until
The following
very
season.
yeah, pretty much.
Well, see, because I was kind of going to echo that a bit. I think it's going to be Daenerys, Cersei, and then it's going to be Jon, White Walkers.
Very much so. Could be. Yeah.
So like the North are going to have to deal with the White Walkers, and then because like they've really not been in this season at all, other than when they stroked Bran's arm.
Yeah.
Like, other than that, they've just not been in this season. So
Yeah.
I think that's what we deal with up that way, and then then Cersei's got the I guess the politics stuff of killing everybody, and then trying to figure out how she's going to try and deal with Daenerys.
Yeah.
So building up to a fight, the Mountain versus a dragon. In
Which I think he will probably lose.
Yeah, combat. Yeah, I reckon
Yeah.
so. Can he even die though?
I guess if he cut his head off, he probably couldn't do much. I mean, you might be able to waddle around a little bit.
I don't know. That's the thing. Can you even kill a mountain? That's probably the big question. So yes,
Possibly.
I guess that's what we think. What about Arya? What do you think happens with her next? Do you reckon
I think she'll. I still strongly think she'll go down and try to kill Cersei. I think that's the last person. I mean, I think that's what we'll see from her, is her making her way down to King's Landing.
Okay. All right then. Who else have we got? Sam will read some books for the season. That'll be him.
What he will find there, I do not know.
Yeah, we'll spend all season reading books.
Maybe a prophecy or something he'll find, possibly.
Maybe someone has written somewhere, this is how you kill a White Walker. And this is how you get rid of the magic at the wall, or some nonsense like that.
Maybe, yeah.
What about the Hound, Brothers Without a Banner? Do you reckon anything will happen?
Might meet up with Arya, because technically
Do you reckon?
he's near the Riverlands, yeah. she is too. So I reckon they might meet up again.
What do you reckon would happen if they did meet?
I don't know. Fight maybe?
Do you
I
reckon?
don't know. Maybe.
Do you reckon
Possibly.
Arya will take the face of the mountain
I don't
and then
know.
suddenly become the mountain? Because she
Be a
can
good
do
move.
pretty much whatever she likes, it seems, without it making
Possibly.
sense.
Quite possibly, but also like neatly fits in with the Brotherhood without banners because they are their entire purpose is the idea of like the overwhelming kind of Lord of Light purpose. I don't know, it'd be interesting to see.
Yeah. So is that's pretty much everyone in it? I think.
Pretty much, and Marine. I mean, like they have pledged their allegiance to Dany, so I'm feeling like they would support her in any war that had to do with King's
I
Landing.
really hope there's not another revolt. I'm just done with that plot line now of them saying, "Oh, Daenerys isn't here again. Let's all go and have slaves again." So
I hope
again,
like that would be. Yeah, I would be very much disappointed if we had to do anything more with that ever again.
yeah. With Jorah,
Hmm.
Dany told him to bugger off and find a cure. Do you reckon he
Yep.
comes back, or do you reckon he's just dead?
Maybe we'll see him again. I wouldn't say no. I don't think we'll see her boyfriend again.
No,
We might
I
see
agree.
Jorah. We
I
might
agree.
see Jorah.
I reckon she'll be in a battle and he'll just turn up and say, "Hi, I haven't got a manky arm now."
Yeah, maybe, quite possibly.
I'd like to see that happen. So, do you with Dawn and stuff, we haven't actually seen them like join up with Daenerys. So I presume that happens as well.
Yeah, I think that will happen
They meet
probably.
up, maybe. I don't know. Maybe meet up after the Iron Islands.
Quite possibly. She
Maybe.
might go to Dawn first and make her way up the coastline, possibly.
Yeah, possibly.
Hmm.
Possibly. So I think that's about it for every main sort of plot line, I guess.
Yeah. Hmm.
So yeah, overall, pretty good season, I think.
Yeah. What would
Yeah,
you give it out of
better
10?
than last season, definitely. Last season, I think, was the weakest season,
It
probably.
was the weakest, yeah. What would you give the season out of 10?
If the last two episodes hadn't happened, I'd give it like a 6.
Hmm.
But because just off of those last two episodes alone, that's got to be like a 7.58, I reckon. Because like episode 9 is definitely the best episode they've ever made. And episode 10 was probably the best season finale they've ever done.
Hmm.
But then like a lot of the, like the marine politics crap and all of that sort of drags it down a bit, I think.
Yeah.
But still like a solid 7.5 ish, I reckon.
Hmm. Yeah.
About you?
I would say a 9.
Really?
I would say 9 just because I feel like story-wise, it was very well arced. I thought it was very well acted,
Better
directed.
paced as
Some of
well, I
the
guess.
better pace. Some of the writing was pretty. Some of the writing was not so great, especially for the Marine. But I think overall it was really good pacing that worked in their favor because
Yeah.
people are so used to things happening so slowly on Game of Thrones, where actually things happened at a nice clip in a way. I mean, I didn't think that you would get anything like you did in the season finale when it came to Cersei. I thought you'd have to wait at least another couple of episodes for anything like that to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, I can understand that. So I think, yeah, overall, pretty solid. So, I mean, I
Yes,
guess that's the last one of these for a while then. We've got a
that
fucking
is.
year to wait until we get next season.
Yep, and then another year after that.
So, thank you everybody for coming and watching the shows. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you've got any theories on what you think's going to happen next season, let us know in the comments what you thought of the season overall, all that kind of thing. Call me a scrub, whatever you like. But thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the show, and we'll see you all next time.
Bye.
Bye.